stream can see both?
Yeah, great. So this is one of the tools that we utilize to assist streamers, assist Twitch channels, assist Discord servers with either providing the mental health resources, and it also does assist with creating that boundary where if somebody's talking about something mental health related and a streamer's not comfortable with it, it's that one step of like, hey, I can't, this is not something I can help with, but I know something or I know someone who can assist, right?
Right.
So the RTS bot stands for real-time support bot. And just as it says here, provides on-demand mental health and crisis resources. All of the resources that are in this bot are vetted through myself and other mental health professionals on our team to make sure it's not just some random link we found in Google, right? Anything that you see in here is going to be vetted by us, but also more importantly, grounded in evidence-based research. Or it's going to be at least support sites or peer support sites that are well established within the community to help support. For example, it's going to be websites such as NAMI, National Association for Mental Illness. For LGBTQ, we use a lot of Trevor Project. So websites like that are really grounded and secured within the community and within the space to provide support. So this is our formal website. I'm going to go through this first. I'm also going to show you how it works within a Discord server, and I'm going to show you how it works in Twitch as well.
Could you zoom in on that screen, like control scroll?
Sure.
Oh, that'd be so good. Yeah. Even a little bit more so the text takes up the whole thing, just so that people on the stream can see. Yeah, you're going to have to unzoom later, but...
Yeah, that's okay. So we'll go through the website first on how to utilize that, and then we'll look at Discord and Twitch in just a moment. So the website is rts.guardiansmh.org. It'll bring you right to here. And then you're going to look at resources.
That's in chat as well, if you don't want to type all that out. It's in the channel chat.
And you'll see that it's filtered a little bit through various tags that we have. And again, like I mentioned, there is going to be a little bit of some of these might be a little bit triggering. But for example, I'm going to pull up the easiest one that we have here. It's the first one, and you can filter by condition, and let's go with anxiety. And so what pops up is a brief description of what anxiety is. Most, if not all, of our resources have the crisis text line. Because if this is a crisis or if this is something more severe, we always recommend that somebody goes to a crisis line, whether it's crisis text line or suicide prevention line. We list as many resources as we have possible, and everything is hyperlinked here. So the first resource is Anxiety Talk, and that'll bring us to our resource that we have here that talks about it and ways to assist with it.
Nice.
Simple back button brings us back, and this will link to another sort of support and understanding as to what exactly anxiety is.
Huh. Interesting. That first fact was interesting. Snap a rubber band myth. It makes your negative thoughts stronger and more frequent. Anyways, that's just that's interesting.
Yeah. And again, this is why because that's a very common thing. A lot of people will do that, but unfortunately, it just kind of reinforces it, sadly. But these are the resources that we have and the things that can go through. And this is if somebody's in, let's say somebody's in chat, or even if you're just talking to somebody and they're talking a lot about anxiety and how it affects them and how it, is disruptive from their day to day. This can be a good leeway to be like, hey, I know this website, I know these people that can assist.
Perfect, right? Yeah.
For content creators, it really is just that one small step, and it just makes your community just that much stronger, but it also protects your boundary, right? Because we don't want to have consistently everybody talking about anxiety, because it's going to give you anxiety, and that's the last thing we want. But being able to say, like, I have a resource, or I know, or I have some support, or I have some resource for you,
right,
allows you just to
It
Not
empowers you. It
necessarily-
empowers you to help them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
That's what I
The
want
words
to
were
do
not
for
coming to
everyone
my head.
here who's listening. We want to empower you today. Like, this is something that's available in the Amaru community. You can join them as well. Send people to their Discord if they're struggling, and they have professionals there. Not just people who want to help, but professionals.
Right. And I believe the bot is already within the Amaru server.
Yes. Yeah.
But I'm still going to go through how to utilize it, especially since everything switched over to / commands. It's a little bit different now. And then just to highlight some other things, we do have, like I said, all of our resources filtered in a certain or a specific way. So LGBTQ resources, this is everything that we have. Support organizations, Red Cross, NEK, all of the organizations here that are other support organizations that either provide peer support or additional information in regards to certain things. We want the idea of the RTS bot was to be a library, right? And an easily accessible library. No more Dewey Decimal System. We've moved on. We want the I don't even know if they still teach that nowadays, to be honest. I know I did when I was in school. But we want it to be easy and we want it to be accessible for everyone. And last but not least, and sometimes our more popular resource is actually where to find a therapist, or how to go about finding a therapist, and how to, and the aspect of self-help, which just increases that resiliency and strength. So we encourage everybody just to go to the website, play around with it. There's nothing you can do to break it, so feel free just to go and take a look. There is a keyword search as well in the corner. So if you wanted to just type in something, it should come up as well. Yep. So it'll come up with all of the resources that list depression in it, right? So bipolar, depression itself. And again, it'll show you all of the, and I'm pointing at the screen like people can see me, but it'll show you exactly where depression comes up. So for example, it comes up in bipolar, and it'll give you related sites as to what bipolar is, but also resources for it as well. And same thing for depression. So that's
So then all these resources can easily be accessed when you add the bot to your stream or to your Discord. That's the key.
100%.
You just type in like the / command or the command in your Discord, in your stream chat, and it's going to pull it up right there for you, for them.
Yep. So I'm actually going to switch over to Discord now to sort of show that. I got to stop streaming for one moment.
I'm going to tag this using RTS in Discord.
Yes.
We're using Stream, by the way, to tag and clip all this for the mods later. So if you miss something, don't feel bad. We'll have like a few video clips that you can refer to as well.
Okay. So I'm sort of showing off our channel just a little bit, but we have a dedicated channel for the RTS bot. So same thing. So as we all know, Discord switched over to / commands. So for the RTS bot in general, you're going to do /resource, and the RTS bot will come up. You click on that, and it's going to come up with all of the keywords here that you could put in to bring up a resource. It actually might be too many, so not all of them may come up, but I believe as you type, yes,
you are correct.
Thank you, Joe. Joe is also here for moral support, but to also help me out if I screw anything up.
Thanks, Joe.
If you need anything, I'm here. Matt is absolutely wonderful at everything, so I know everything's in good. If any questions come up with the / command, because it was confusing with the switch, I'm here to help.
Okay,
Joe is being very modest. He's the face of the company, and he has the face for it. I have a face for radio.
You got that voice, man.
That's yeah. That's why I said radio and not TV. So it does come up as you start typing. Some things come up. Let's not do depression. Let's do ADHD instead. Oops. I think I clicked. Yes. So you'd click on ADHD, And then you would just click enter at that point, because that's the keyword you're looking for. The RTS bot will think for a little bit, and then the resource will come up. It'll come up with the resource information. So what exactly ADHD is, or not exactly what it is. It's a brief description of ADHD, as well as the resources to assist. Whenever you click on a hyperlink, it'll just bring you National Institute of Mental Health, bring you to the overview of ADHD, signs and symptoms.
Oh, I think you're sharing your Discord.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, yeah, because that's why I can hear myself. Now it all makes sense.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, change your screen share to window. Just click the screen share button.
There we go.
Yeah, and then you can share your desktop. You gotta change it to application share. There's like 2 little tabs that pop up when you click share your screen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I apologize.
Oh, no worries, man.
And so once you click on that link, let me go back to Discord. So I just clicked on the first link, and that'll bring you to here. And this is the more in-depth view of what ADHD is. Now, in regards to resources and coping skills, those will also be there. So the third link down is dealing with ADHD.
Nice.
And these are just resources and little things that we can do to assist with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And again, when we look at these articles, we don't just look for like keywords or fancy words. We're looking for something that makes it a little, easier to digest, but also provides realistic and practical skills to assist.
So for people coming in right now, I noticed a lot more people came in over the past. The Robo Squad's here. What's up? We are going through using the bot, the RTS bot. So if people in chat are experiencing or seem to be letting on that they're dealing with something that's probably more than you can handle, you can use these commands, the slash commands for the RTS bot. You want to just run through real quick how to pull that up? Slash.
Absolutely. So it's going to be /resource.
/res. Click on that one, and then you can scroll through all of them.
Mm-hmm. Well, when you first pull it up, it unfortunately not all pop up because there's a lot. But as you start typing,
right.
If you're looking for something in particular, let's do 21 cups. 211.
With that list that pops up, there's commands that automatically autofill. You'll also see that you can search by category or list all resources as well. And that's an option as well. Plus, with slash command, with this update, it actually puts a lot more power into the user's hands. Where as you're typing for the resource, like as Matt types it in, so /resource, and you can fill in a keyword, it'll pop up some autofill choices. And then after that, you can select if you want that resource public or private. So if you select it privately, you are the only one that can view that resource. So it puts a lot more into your hands, so you can search comfortably in a public space without other people seeing what resources you're looking into. Okay, so you can keep it public or private if you like.
So it's kind of like Minecraft, where you can enter in the one command, then hit tab and go to the privacy of it. So I can set it to private here. I'm doing it in the Hangout room chat, testing it out. So I did one for breathing public, and then I did one private, just so that the Twitch stream can see.
So you see right there on Matt's screen, you can select public or private. And if you select private, no one else can see the resource but you. And so it gives you a lot more independence and confidence in what you're searching. And you're not under public scrutiny, like, why is Joe looking that up like that?
Right.
Are you okay? If you want to be a little bit more private with what you're researching and everything for resources, you can do that through the RTS bot as well with Discord. Sorry, man. I'll go away.
No, not at all. I appreciate it. So this is just another tool that can be utilized if you're looking just to really take that step and help out your own community if a lot of things are coming up, or just in general. The addition of the privacy, I think, is fantastic for this reason alone. So, let's say there is that day where I'm not feeling well, I'm really, really anxious, or I'm really, really depressed, on either side of that spectrum, right? And it's 2 weeks till my next appointment, but I really don't know where to go, right? To me, I would consider that a crisis, because we're not feeling good. Things are not going on. But I really don't want everybody to know that I'm looking up crisis lines. So the privacy aspect here is very nice. What I will say is that aspect of privacy in this regard is really for Discord. To my knowledge, and Joe, you can correct me, I don't believe we have that feature for Twitch.
You're correct. That's
okay.
only for /command. That's fine. Twitch is a different animal when it comes to coding, and there's not that kind of ability yet.
Right.
So, and obviously the crisis is going to bring up the crisis text line. It'll bring you to the website if you so choose, and it'll also let you know that you can text them as well from any number. We do also have resources that are international. I will say, unfortunately, and I think that's a lot of people will tell you, there's not essentially too much, but is there a code for international? There's not. So Joe, I'm gonna need your help. What's the category for international resources?
If you look under categories, if you search categories, it'll actually come up. Since I'm viewing, I can't pull it up. I'm not at a PC right now. Yeah, so if it's just /category instead of writing a resource, you can hit / that, and you can go down through. And you'll see Ireland, New Zealand, United Kingdom, Australia, Canada, and then through the crisis outreach, we have the international suicide lines for the entire world. As we grow and continue to expand our reach with other organizations internationally and everything, we're adding more and more international resources. Plus, we always welcome people to suggest resources to add to the RTS bot.
How would they do that if they wanted to suggest something?
So you can go right to our...
Go ahead.
Sorry. Go right to our website, guardiansmh.org. There is an option there to email us and to contact us there. You can email any resource. We also, through Twitter as well too. Our Twitter DMs are open at guardiansmh. You can let us know if you have resources there. That's our main. That's the two main ways.
Yeah. Okay.
To reach out to us. And again, we have actually in the past, especially for international, and for somebody like myself who goes through them, it's a quick look just to make sure that it's on the up and up, that it's a legitimate organization, and that it shares legitimate and evidence-based practices, and we'll put it right in. There's a lot. I don't have the exact number of resources in here, but I know we're well over 100, if not a little bit more. And trust me, those 100 did not just come from my brain alone. That came from 168. So we're very close to 2.
Wow. Yeah.
And that's not all for me. This is a huge community effort too. Really, I'm just, and the other mental health professionals in the crew, it's primarily we ask the community to kind of help us out, especially when it comes to international or just resources that they've used that have helped them. The idea of peer support, which is something that we promote heavily, is people helping people. Hey, and I'm just going to use this as an example. AA didn't work for me, and for those AAs, Alcoholics Anonymous, I really didn't like AA, but I did like Smart Recovery, which is a bit of a different entity. Why don't you take a look at that instead? That is how these, word of mouth is fantastic sometimes when it comes to resources, because it helps us just to see new communities and to see new,
Exactly.
peer support opportunities.
Exactly.
So that is, and you can also see too, and thank you, Joe, for reminding me. There is the category, there's keyword, there's list.
Why don't we do some role play here? What about handling beyond? So we've basically gotten through some of these key resources and tools. I feel like if you're listening, you should feel fairly well equipped to dole out resources. But then there's a whole nother element of this that's just handling the conversation. Like, what do you say? You don't just do hashtag, / get help. Get help.
Right. Absolutely.
So maybe we could get into a little bit of that, like in Discord chats. You have somebody in general.
Mm-hmm. So So I'll try to set the scene, I guess, a little bit, and something that we come across almost sometimes on a daily basis with our server, right? I won't pull up a specific, but I'm just going to kind of utilize some things that have gone on. So one of the more common things that happen in our server, at least, is somebody coming in and automatically stating that they want to hurt themselves. Mm-hmm. So, for example, somebody will come in and they'll type in chat. Let me pull back to Amaru for just... Oh, now I'm probably doubling up on everything. So I'm going to stop streaming for one moment.
Somebody asked if it's for YouTube yet, or it's just Twitch and Discord.
Yeah.
Just Twitch and Discord. Okay.
So I'm going to utilize that Hangout chat for just a moment as well, too.
Perfect. Yeah, people can see that on stream, too, so that'll work.
So we've, people come in and they'll tell us, and they'll say, like, I want to hurt myself. I hate this. I hate that. I hate everything about what's going on. There's no other course of, there's nothing. I've tried everything. The very hopelessness, the very depressed aspect of certain things. And they'll come in, and as I'm sure we've seen either people talk about, it'll just be a large wall of text that sort of comes in. And this can be utilized both Discord and Twitch. So if you have that scenario come up, that situation, easiest thing that I've said, wow, that's a lot to manage. That sounds like you've been going through a lot, and it sounds like it's been going on for a really long time.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we take this out of general chat and let's put it into a bit of a more private channel, so that way we can talk and that way we can discuss things. So in our server, and I believe Twitch has the, aspect of just direct messaging, we would ask the moderators to do that. So our mods, if there's somebody coming in very heavy like that, our moderators who are mental health first aid trained will come in and they will sort of usher that individual into a private chat. And we do that for a couple of reasons. I'll put a pause on the role play. We do that for a couple of reasons. We don't want to completely disrupt everything that might be going on in general chat or anything that might be going on in a Twitch stream. We want to give that individual space to talk, though. So that's why we kind of usher it into a private channel. Obviously, there have been times... before I go ahead of myself. So, individual typically will say, okay, that's fine, as long as I can still talk. And then we'll put them in a private channel, or we'll DM them on Twitch and kind of just have them continue to talk. What seems to be going on? What are some things that have been kind of happening recently? Things like that. And let the individual know that they're being heard, just with this aspect of active listening.
Yeah.
Letting them know, like, hey, I'm just reading everything. So if I don't respond right away, that's the reason why, but I am still here. Especially in text format. That's super important.
That is so important.
Yeah, because if you have somebody who's writing just a wall of text, it's going to take a while, for anybody to just be able to kind of read through that.
The essays I've received.
Yes.
Absolutely. Like, somebody put a lot of thought into this, and I just can't reciprocate that amount of brain power at this moment. Like, I have family. I have a 2-year-old who's, like, emotionally dependent on me. And I can't be... Yeah.
And that's very much okay, though.
Yeah.
Right? Because we don't expect anybody to reciprocate exactly back
Right.
to the same level, because we're not there for that, because we don't want to add fuel to the fire. Let's say we want to be able just to hear them and listen and provide just so that way they know that somebody is kind of hearing them at that moment,
Yeah.
right? Because we're also not therapists either, in this capacity. So we're not going to fix the problem. We're not going to make life magically better at that moment. Nobody could. But it's just that idea of being heard, being listened to, that might just help to de-escalate a situation. And so you're letting them know, like, hi, I'm here. I'm just reading everything that you wrote. I want to give, some attention. I want to give as much attention as I can. So I'm just reading everything through. Typically what we want, what we'd like to, our first go-to, if somebody's, has even that hint of a thought as to wanting to hurt themselves, it's automatically, I appreciate and thank you for sharing everything that you did. It really sounds like you're struggling at this time. I'd like to continue talking, but I also think it's important that you reach out to a crisis line, because those are mental health professionals who are there to assist in moments like this. And 9 times out of 10, what we've seen is that people are very receptive to that, because we're not shunning them. It's not a, well, you're looking to hurt yourself, can't help you, bye. That's the exact opposite of what we want to do. Right. It's like, hey, let's get you to somebody who can help. Right. And that's where the resource crisis would come in.
Yeah. And having that tool at your fingertips, knowing you don't have to be the end all for them. The buck doesn't stop with you, right?
Right. And also the RTS bot is nice because you don't have to memorize these resources either, right? You don't have to memorize the number. I have it memorized because I know it, and then I've given it to so many people.
Yeah.
But not everybody knows that 741 is going to bring you to a crisis line, and even newly enough, 988 is going to bring you to suicide prevention.
Mm-hmm.
So not everybody knows that right away. So it's also good that you don't need to memorize that. It's all here.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's why I wanted to partner with you guys. That's why I wanted to do this training, is because that's been a big struggle for me. Is like, where do I send people? There's so many resources out there. And now it's so simple. It's like, all right, these guys have already vetted them. They've already got professional opinions. They can give them the help they need. And it's not like I'm sending them to an old school telephone call center. It's like, these guys are Discord streamers. Like, Matt's here. He's technologically proficient enough to work with this bot. So he can help you with these situations as well, and other people in there. You guys have something deeper you're dealing with. There's somebody who's emotionally attached. I find, like, in the parasocial relationship sense, we talked about that earlier. Attachment and needy people attach themselves to streamers and content creators. Yeah. They feel like they know them really well, and then it becomes a dependency.
Yeah. Because there's a bit of an illusion of that this is my best friend now.
Mm-hmm.
This is somebody who will help me. And they potentially can, but not in the way that somebody thinks, right? Because now it's, I've opened up, there's that bit of an expectation, like, okay, you're going to help me. And it's like, I'm not, but I know people, or I know resources, or I know others who can. And sometimes it doesn't always take away from that blow of, oh, they don't care about me, but that's more on the individual than it is on the streamer. And I think that's...
Oh no, we lost him. Yeah, no, I care about all of you, but I also can't be everywhere at once for everyone. And I know that's really like a pain point for me. Is like, when I stream, I want to be there for people. I want to be there for everybody, but obviously I'm not a mental health professional. Matt, are you back?
Yes, sorry about that. I don't know. Discord just crashed on me. But I'm back.
Red, I think you're Robo1, or is that Axo? I can't know now. Y'all confuse me with your names. But yeah, save your questions for a minute here. Actually, go ahead. You ask your question. We'll take a break from the just rambling. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry. Question. What happens when you have someone with high ADD like me who has issues with reading like a long stuff like the crisis line, not the crisis line, the just general crisis stuff that you have with the bot. Like it's long pages of website, and people with ADD like me have issues reading it all in one sitting.
Very true. How to go about that? In all honesty, there's a couple of different ways. There's this idea of breaking it into, especially when we're providing the resource for ADD or ADHD. If someone's just looking for more information about it, that's not necessarily a crisis in that moment. That's just more so somebody's looking for information, wants to see a little bit more. I think, unfortunately, no matter what, any website that's going to talk about ADHD or ADD, it's going to be lengthy, sadly. I don't think they've caught up in that regards when it comes to the proper understanding of ADHD. But in that sense, if it's not a crisis and we're just looking for the resources there, or just some more information about it, the simplest answer would just be to go through it as slowly as you can. Go through it at a pace that is comfortable for yourself. Work with if you don't have a professional already, we always suggest and recommend looking for a professional, someone who specializes in ADHD, to be able to give you that information in a proper way. Things like that are some of the things that I would recommend and suggest. The resources themselves, it's difficult for us to sort of control what's on the websites, but I hear you in that regard. If I was to give somebody with, ADD or ADHD that long 80 tips sheet, the goal is maybe just to look at the first 3 at that point. There's no pressure to look at all 80. Just look at the first few.
Hey, kitty. Hello. Kitty's in the background. Stretching. Big stretch. Big stretches. Yeah, we should all just take a second and stretch here. Stretch breaks all around. So I would.
That's my big boy.
That was a good question, though. I also think, just to add on to that, if it's not a crisis necessarily, like for me, I've struggled with ADHD, and most helpful things I've found are, like you said, bite-sized, digestible content. But a lot of it's self-care techniques, and that's why I love Amaru, because it's put it into a gamified version that my brain loves. And then I can bring my blood pressure down and use tried and proven methods of focusing through using their meditations. That, for me, having that resource is like the RTS kit. It's like, this is now for me to help others. The Amaru Bot's for me to help myself. It's not helping anyone else but me. I'll just give a testimonial here, because why not? I was struggling. I've had 2 live streams today, and I've interviewed another person, and I have another event after this and a meeting, and I had 30 minutes, and I was like, I could either go play with my daughter or I can meditate and relax. So I sat down on my bed, took my blood pressure, 140 over 90. It was ridiculous. I was just stressed out. I'm hyper guy. I laid down, I did the grit and resilience. I closed my eyes. 20 minutes later, took my blood pressure. It was I think it was 120 over 70 or 60. It was just a massive decrease. I was like, that is what enables me to go back to work and focus and do things and help other people better. So, if you're talking about not crisis situations, personally dealing with things, seek out the tools that are, useful to you, like a gamified version or something,
Absolutely. And I think too, and everybody please correct me if I'm wrong, my understanding and those who I've worked with on a therapeutic level when it comes to ADD and ADHD, there is this built up pressure, I think sometimes too, that I think that's just a part of that diagnosis sometimes, as to, I need to, if I don't get through this, and I don't get through it because of my ADHD, I'm bad, or I'm not going to be able to do anything ever again. There's this pressure, I think, that unfortunately comes along with that diagnosis, whether it's a situational based, whether it's a societal based, that I think the narrative needs to change there. So that list, right? I think we have to remember it's for you to go through at your leisure. This is not a requirement. This is not a demand. Even though our brain may be saying, like, I need to get through this, the more I think that we fight, I think the more that we fight that urge to step away or that urge to kind of get up and do something else, the worse it becomes.
Yeah. We had a good question in chat as well. Or not really question as much, but Cloudberry said, with ADHD and dyslexia, it helps to highlight as you read. And I was just wanted to tack on to that note taking for me has been a massive thing. This is kind of getting off topic from content creator or streamer, but even in that sense, like if you're a streamer and you're dealing with a lot of emotional stuff and people are doing, are latching onto you, you probably do need to document this diary. You'll focus on your own mental health as well, in addition to this, which helps to be in a community. Like the Guardians, you guys have an ambassador streaming program.
Yes.
I just wanted to tell us how that sort of community got started around this concept.
So, I'm gonna just shout him out really quick. It was Joe.
Hey.
It was Joe whose idea was, because we had a lot of people, in running a lot of our just charity streams to help to sort of fundraise for the nonprofit.
I love that you do that.
Lights on, so to speak. Yeah.
That's awesome.
We honestly noticed a lot of the same streamers were coming out to support us, and everybody. And I also will say there's been a ton of people who came out, but we did start to notice that there was just a few of the same regular names that we saw.
Mm-hmm.
And Joe had this idea of like, well, a lot of other groups and organizations have ambassador programs or people who stream under them. Why don't we see if we can get this off the ground? And oh boy, did it come off the ground, because
Yes.
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up really quick because it's something that I love. We have so many people.
I mean, that is so cool to me that
considered ambassadors.
People coming together around these concepts, like that's what I want for the Amaru community. The same thing you guys have, incorporate that, and then like maybe under the RTS bot, we also have like the Amaru game we can send people to for more of the self-care stuff. But I think this is going to be really cool. We already have like 3 or 4 signups for the Amaru program, and I'm really hoping we can like use the RTS bot and ecosystem as well to promote this. So I'm excited to see, how we can help gamers game more responsibly.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
The whole idea
Now we can hear.
was
Oh,
Is that Joe?
I'm sorry. Yeah, it is. No, I just wanted to add as well too, with creating the ambassador program, like Matt said, we identified a lot of support from individuals throughout the community and the gaming community, but we also wanted to take one step further and provide a tailored program specifically directed surrounding streamers. So provide them opportunities for them and also their moderator teams to come and learn some things about mental health and other topics that for situations that they encounter every time they stream, and their moderators as well by extension, because those are the individuals who are interacting the most with chat. So providing them the resources as well and opportunities to trainings throughout the year is hugely beneficial overall for the entire streaming community. So we really wanted to take a step forward and provide opportunities, free opportunities for individuals to gain more, to become more educated and to gain more knowledge and experience and be more comfortable with encountering and engaging in situations. And that also by extension will like water fall down and help create a safer, more healthier streaming community.
I love that. The whole concept is so key to me because, obviously my wife streams. I've streamed a lot, and I've seen so much trauma. I mean, life is rough, guys. Life is rough, and we can be here for each other in healthy ways. I think it's all about boundaries, right? And the tools we're talking about are all so that we can help people better. We can enjoy each other more, make the most out of these communities that are popping up. Like, it's incredible what's happening in Discord at this moment. But there's also a lot of sadness and pain, and I don't want to overlook that. You know, I want to help. I want to help people. Cloud.
Yeah. And
Go
the
ahead.
biggest thing was to not gatekeep, right, any of the resources. Our RTS bot is not just for ambassadors. It is for everybody. It's not just for our Discord server. It's for every Discord server. We want these mental health resources available to anyone at any time.
Yep,
right?
That's the key.
We physically have made that within our mental health kits, and not to go off too much on the tangent, but everything, even our mental health kits, are free. We don't charge for them, right? There's no charge to use any of these services, because the idea is we want these in everybody's hands in some way, shape, or form, digitally or physically. And that's our main goal. And it's working out very well, I will say. So
how do you guys support this endeavor then? The development of the bot, the maintenance of the community? You know, how do people support the community?
We do a lot of us personally. We do a lot of fundraising.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that comes in when it comes to sort of Twitch subscriptions or subs goes right back into the nonprofit. We have some merchandise as well too. All links that I can provide.
Awesome.
That just helps support everything that we do. Full transparency. I know I said it before jokingly, but myself and Joe and anybody who works with the organization, we don't collect a paycheck. I've gone so far as to show people my bank account, as pathetic as it is, just to prove that, right? And I say that not to brag and not to pat myself on the back, but more so to say, like, we're serious about this. This is something that we do for the community that we love, and that's just a community of gaming. For us in particular, it's Destiny. We love that Destiny community, and it's just something that we're passionate about. All of our fundraising is through Tiltify. I can also link that as well too.
You should.
For all of our fundraising. And donations, we accept donations all year round. So we're at, because
why not, right?
Well, too. We're at conventions as well too, where we talk about who we are, and as well as accept donations there and sell merch and provide our mental health kits. So that's how we sort of get the word out as much as possible, be it on a digital or a physical space.
And you guys send out kits as well, right? Like physical kits to people. Again, Joe has more of the numbers as to how many have gone out. We are well over. Did we hit 5,000, Joe? Wow. Or is that more? So what's in these kits then?
Sure. So give me 1 second. I will physically show you.
Oh, all right. Since they're physical kits, though. Yeah.
Since they're physical kits.
15,563 sent out so far. That's incredible. Yeah, I want to support this for sure. You guys are doing something incredible here for the community. That's a lot of people impacted as well. And I know you guys are trying to work with vets as well, which, you know, I know that Amaru's kind of a furry, fuzzy, cutesy animal, but we also do a lot of gaming here. We're more into the Minecraft, Sea of Thieves, but, you know, I know there's some more advanced gamers, and we'd like to do some more collaborative streams too. So hopefully next time you guys do a fundraiser, we can really lean into supporting that as well. Because I don't know if Matt dropped the call.
No, still here.
Oh, okay. Well, if you guys are watching on the Twitch, you can join the Discord and find the link for Guardians and everything. Discord.gg/Amaru. And Joe is trying to say something. Go ahead and say it again.
Can you hear me?
Barely. I'm gonna turn the Maru bot down.
It seems to only work when Matt's streaming something.
Yeah, you're very low,
Matt.
Joe.
Interesting. What are you doing to him, man?
It's all my fault, as it always is.
Anybody just joining the chat, you guys can check out the Guardians mental health resources in the Hangouts chat room. Matt's grabbing the kit so he can show us what they send out to streamers, which is really awesome. Are these free kits, or do people pay to ship them?
Nope. These are 100% free.
Wow.
We cover the cost of shipping it. Everything, all the kits are funded via donations.
Wow.
So just pulling out a few of these things here.